2026 is America's 250th birthday. To celebrate, WTAP is honoring our local veterans. Today, we recognize Bernie Lyons. Our Thomas Chase spoke with him and has more.
Bernie Lyons is a local Marine veteran here in the Middle Ohio Valley.
Well, I was in peacetime, and I joined in the reserves in 1955 and went on active duty in 1956. Went to Parris Island.
Following his time out of service, Lyons has been a staunch advocate for veterans and Gold Star families in the Middle Ohio Valley. He even had the opportunity to lay a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Virginia this past summer. Lyons helped to create the 3 Gold Star family memorials in our area alongside the Woody Williams Foundation.
Woody Williams was actually here in Parkersburg, and he had just made a speech. And after the speech, as he was putting his materials away, there was one man left sitting in a chair, and he was crying very quietly. And so Woody stopped and went and asked him if he could help him. And the man said that, you know, even fathers cry. And it started Woody thinking about, you know, Gold Star families. It's nobody does anything for them.
The 3 memorials in the MOV are a part of 153 Gold Star family memorials across the country in all 50 states. There are currently 10 in West Virginia. Lyons encouraged fellow veterans to stay engaged after their time in the military.
I would encourage all veterans to get out. They probably can't do it when their children are young or they're still working a job, but when that's over, keep yourself active, get out, help the other veterans. It's what we do.
The 3 Gold Star family memorials in the Middle Ohio Valley are located in Vienna, Parkersburg, and Marietta. In Vienna, I'm Thomas Chase with WTAP News. This is home.